MAG.Yolo, they did get stomped a lot quicker by G2IG. The team has to, they did take a little bit more time to finish off the goal of All Life is Death. So here we go, game number 1, now officially underway. Wonder if we do see a level 1 teamfight breakout. As well as that, have we established where the slaughter is going?
Yeah, it's offlane for
It's offlane, okay.
heterotheism. And you are just running the ZXC Lone Druid safe. Obviously, Quap mid for Blessing. Nothing too surprising. I think that's the most straightforward configuration of these lanes here for the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. MAG.Yolo holding a good position, trying to snipe someone coming up. They've also got really good wards. Same idea here from the goal of All Life is Dead, but they will pull back earlier. So, gonna go for the 2-for-2 bounty rune trade, but if they overstep, again, some already good setup vision here from MAG.Yolo can lead to some very nasty possibilities if you're not careful.
Oh, they're still very patiently waiting on the high ground. Big wraparound here from the goal of All Life is Death. Now, it seems like they are just trying to get to the laning stage, actually. They're just understanding that MAG.Yolo are probably hanging around the top side of the map, so they can secure the bottom bounty runes pretty freely. And that they will. They'll walk away with 2 bounty runes each. A lot of vision being placed around this this Radiant jungle area. They're really just trying to make sure there's no rotations coming in from the mid lane from Yamo. Or perhaps looking for rotations into the mid lane. Speaking of that mid lane, we can talk about it. Of course, Blessing is against Yamo here with the Mag vs Quap matchup. You'd imagine it should favor the Quap, but it still can go either way. Magnus has not been losing many lanes as of late.
That it hasn't. Shockwave is just really efficient and really low cooldown for what it is. Clears out Creep Wave, applies good damage. It's a little bit harder to maybe hammer in onto a Quap, but it's not going to be something that Blessing's going to be too happy about. Of course, you do have a Shatter Strike spam later on, and Scream of Pain is relatively easy to catch the Magnus in, but all of Quap's spells are much costlier. 120 at level 1 for Scream. You've got a 125 for the Dagger. So you have a lot of room for Yamo to just do what he needs to do and just win out. Because you only have, like, what, 3-4 spell casts here for Blessing until he's empty. Yamo can just spam out for a little bit longer. And, again, if need be, just play safe in the back with Shockwave. His reach is far better than Scream of Pain is for just safe farming.
Yeah. We'll have a look at the side lanes while we paused. Of course, top lane, you're going to have CZY and the Tiny. He'll be up against, well, rather with Candaloon, against his Lone Druid and the Enchantress. The Enigma, I'm not really sure how to feel about it. We have seen a little bit of it in the current meta throughout these close qualifiers. Been a bit hit or miss. I think against the Lone Druid, it's kind of hard to see it doing that well. We'll see what Candaloon does get up to here on this Enigma, but against the Ench and the Lone Druid at the same time, it could be a pretty challenging lane for him.
And it can be. Just gonna have to hold out. There is a lot of aggression with just Tiny Enigma. Once the Malefice is up, it's very easy work to just follow through with the Avalanche Toss. Again, level 3 timing you're looking for here on MAG.Yolo. And ZXC, he just has to really be cautious, because if that bear is just constantly twacked away by the Eidolons, it's just free damage that you can't really stop. Like, there's not much Milu can do on that Ench to put an end to it. And that's going to be the story of the game. Just forcing out to summon Spirit Bear every single time. Gives you a 2-minute window to find some free gold. You just have to balance that resource here for the side of the goal. The goal of All Life is Death. Still a decent start for ZXC. 7-3. Not stopping it just yet, but MAG.Yolo, again, needs some more levels to really get pressure in there.
Yeah, that he does. That bottom lane. The Slaughter Venge versus the Techies and the Troll. It could be scary for either side. There is plenty of kill potential here down at this bottom lane between both sides. And I dare say you want to be a little bit more cautious if you are the Radiant end of things, because that double stun can be very, very detrimental to go up against. But it seems as though Vanessa, not having too hard of a time in that range form as the Troll, can just ensure the Slaughter does stay away. Both sides seem to be pretty happy to just farm for the moment anyway. No real rush here.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty scary if they do manage to chain stun on top, magic missile into just the Slitherine and the Bash of the Deep, but gap closing here is a little bit tougher. Up top, a little bit of action. Again, trying to force that bear down while it's on cooldown. That's the objective. Pre-level 3 for the side of MAG.Yolo. Still fairly tanky though, even at the level 1 bear.
Bottom lane, first blood is going to be drawn. They will take down the techies. They will find the support going down already. The Venge will pick up the first blood here as mid lane. Blessing finding himself in a bit of danger here up against Yamo, but is going to be able to retreat. The Quap still has to kind of be on her toes a little bit as the Mag can do plenty of damage. Top lane in the meantime, bit of a chase happening here for the Ench. But she's going to be alright as well. They will not be able to chase too far.
Yeah, again, you're still waiting for these levels to be up and running. Avalanche Toss, complement with Malefice, that's the opener here for the side of MAG.Yolo. They are starting to get a little bit aggressive, though, on the side of the goal of All Life is Dead.
CZY taking a little bit of harassment, but will be okay to back his way out. The bottom lane's going extremely well right now. Vanessi's just basically free farming on the troll, which is somewhat to be expected against the Slaughter Venge. It's just sure the techies could find himself in danger, but the troll itself pretty hard to catch out. We have not really seen a great attempt at that quite yet. Vanessi will continue just free farming on the troll for now.
Just get that build up. It's going to be a pretty passive time since they're not finding the openings. As you mentioned, the techies is a softer target, but jumping the techies means that Hetero TSM has to leave that lane, miss out in CS to play with the chain stuns. The rotation potential as well here for the side of the goal of All Life is Dead it's decent enough. Some harassment, they are making that move onto our techies at the very least.
Yeah, they sure did. The techies will die once again. The Slaughter able to pick up a very easy pickoff for himself. It's just, again, the one target they can really aim down. The troll, I mean, they are going to try and get to him now, but the whirling axis does make it very hard to actually get the Bash of the Deeps off onto that troll warlord, so he'll be just fine. It's just going to be constantly a matter of just trying to aim this techies down throughout these little engagements. Top lane, Candyloon also going to find himself in danger. Snare was out. They get the entangle, and Candyloon is as good as dead, and he will be. ZXC able to pick one up.
A little bit of a rough time if you do leave that Enigma alone. And we'll find the Venge down bot at the least to get something going here for the side of MAG.Yolo. But a really great time so far from the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. Outside of the free farm for Vanessi, they are finding pretty much everything they'd want. The mid lane matchup for Blessing is shaping up, although Yamo is still finding some amount of farm and harassment, not enough to shove away Blessing. Although,
yeah, I mean, mid lane, Yamo, he's going to be fine. ZXC, he is not going to be fine. Top lane, he will go down. Candyloon and CZY able to pick off the lone druid, and that's a pretty big deal, finding the LD like that. Not going to feel too great for the dire end of things, but he will go down.
It's the level 3 timing. Avalanche Toss on Tiny, ready to go. With the Malefice, Lone Druid becomes a really easy target. At the very least, you still have your Bear resummon on respawn, so it's not the worst thing in the world for ZXC. Still be able to play that lane and try to play the farm game. But again, the goal of All Life is Dead. Still having a good time. Candyloon's left alone once more.
Yeah, that he is. Candyloon. He's going to be just fine, though. The Avalanche does come in and it does save the day.
Bot?
Well, they'll find the Slaughter now. Vanessi able to pick off another one here on the troll, so happy days for him as top lane. They'll continue chasing, finding the Enchantress. The Dire is falling apart here, so Blessing has to rotate to try and help out, taking down Candyloon. Meanwhile, ZXC still being chased down by the Eidolons, still giving the vision over to CZY, who goes for the tree throw, but it is not going to quite be enough with the Eidolons. Oh, they expire. That is unfortunate. CZY is still around the LD, but it's probably a little bit too late. ZXC will even help out with the bearers. The tree throw this time around will not land. So a bit of revenge here, thanks to the rotations out from Blessing.
Yeah, Really good movements out from the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. Very close call for ZXE, still having a little bit of a rough time up top, but having a better time at the very least in comparison to Candy Loon and YMO, or Yamo, as the net worth lead is slightly in favor of the goal of All Life is Dead. The launching point for MAG.Yolo is Vinessi on that troll. He is going into the Battle Fury build up here for the Troll of Warlords, who just wants to accelerate the farm by himself, and is set to do so. Again, the pressure from Heteroteism is not that great, and Troll can just sit back. They've only been able to really constantly kill off our techies, and it's just not enough to stop the Troll from getting that build up. So there is still a really good timer here for the side of MAG. It's just the recovery process for these two other heroes on the Enigma and the MAG is it's a little bit dicey, Yamo.
Oh, commits the RP. Doesn't quite get within range to actually catch anyone with that, so a bit unfortunate here for the MAG. Meanwhile, top lane Black Hole was committed. They have found themselves ZXC, or at least the spirit bear of ZXC, but Candy Loon is still going to lose his life. I respect the... Oh, he still gets him. The Eidolons, once again, being microed perfectly. And this time, they will not expire before they do get the kill.
Yeah, it's a nice way to trade, finding the bear and finding the main bear. Mr. Lone Druid himself falling. And it is well worth the early black hole. You're not going to be gunning for bigger team fights, so you'll just kind of use it even just to deny the bear. It's much more painful for the Lone Druid to lose that than it is for you to lose black hole. Are still clumped around top. Again, they have a lot of angles here to come in, but and the Ench does back off in the nick of time. Clump up down bot from the goal of All Life is dead, as they are seeking to siege. And the Lone Druid can apply pressure onto towers really, really quick, but no movement out from the side of MAG.Yolo. Should be a 1-for-1 trade. Same pace with the Eidolons here up top as well.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they'll just go for the trade instead of going for the team fight. No need to force something that's probably not going to work in your favor anyway. Especially without the black hole being on cooldown at the moment. We'll trade tier 1 towers in the side lanes. Nice and easy. MAG.Yolo is still going to be very happy with the way this game is going. Of course, their Troll and Enigma looking very, very farmed up at the moment. Rotations up towards the top lane here. From the dire end of things, seeing if they can find themselves a straggler. They will run into the techies. Problem is that the initiation isn't really there. They don't have a swap, they don't have a blink, they have nothing, but they have Vinessi, who does get caught out. The Vinessi has hit that level 7 mark, so does have the battle trance available. They'll commit a nice Sonic Wave from Blessing, dragging them back. Vinessi is just being brought right back into the team fight, and he's just down. So of all people, they run into Vinessi, they take down the Troll. The battle trance just does nothing, as the Sonic Wave buys them so much time throughout it. That's a huge loss for MAG.Yolo.
And that chase up from the side of the goal of All Life is Dead does pan out a little bit too forward there in the positioning for Vinessi. Does cost him. And again, that's the one consequence of using that black hole early. There's no real play here for Candy Loon, so he's just going to stand back, keep building that farm up. The goal of All Life is Dead. Finding the big kills they'd want, hitting some good level spikes as well. Level 7 up on our Slardar. Throws of Haze ready to be spammed out, makes scouting out a lot easier. They are setting up for something, and they've got the blast off ready. But
Candy Loon just gets deleted here as the techies trying to jump in, salvage the scenario. Oh, what?
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
What kind of swap was that? Oh well, I mean the techies now cleaning up. Candy Loon picking up a double kill with the Eidolons. And that swap was interesting, to say the least. I think he could have gotten out of the slide route just fine, but maybe trying something special certainly did not work.
Blessing?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to find himself a techies by the looks of it, but the disarm is going to drag this out a little bit longer than he would like. In fact, a nice juke through the tree line. CZY now going to show up, so will Candy Loon. Onto the Enchantress they go, and well, the Ench is going to take a little bit of time to take down at least, but I think eventually they'll have their way with him. He'll keep trying for the techies now. Avalanche will land, and they'll get it.
Takes a lot of work they find something, and you also save your techies there. Rather curious. I think the swap was really just for the barrier. It looked like an auto attack was flying out on the Eidolon, but the positioning of our Venge not quite ideal. Patting not clean, and the tree line gets cut with the swap. So a little bit of a rough circumstance for the goal of all life is death. But I suppose they're playing into their team name a little bit, providing death from their own lives. So they are letting that out at the very least. 8-9, a rather even matchup for MAG.Yolo, and the goal of all life is death. As there is a smoke out now from the side of MAG.Yolo. See what they can find. They've got that fresh blink on Yamo.
Oh, Yamo's going to find himself a vengeful spirit. Swap away onto the techies. He's actually going for a run. ZXC is right by him to help out. RP though is going to be committed. A lot of commitment here for the Venge, but they might also find themselves a Spirit Bear. But no, ZXC is able to get the bear out of there. So RP committal just to ensure they get the Venge kill. Suppose for MAG.Yolo, they'll just take it right now. They don't mind too much. Just commit the spell, get the kill. Their lineup is enjoying all the space they have anyway. Like, they're just getting so much farm off the map.
That they are. Managing to get this nice build-up on Candy Loon with the full Vlad's up. They even managed to see Heterotia's in, although Slaughter is pretty bulky, so they both just farm next to each other mid.
Oh, big Sonic Wave, mid lane. CZY dies, but an even bigger blast off him. Now the 3-man Black Hole. Candyland will just hold them all down. Perfect setup from our techies. Well, this Slaughter, he shows up at the last second. He's going to try and go for the Enigma kill. Candyloon is not going to go down either. Body blocks out will save the day. The Spirit Bear moving back in, though, does get the Enigma. Yamo in trouble. Now Yamo's going to go down. But here comes Vanessa with the Battle Trance. He'll go after the Slaughter. He will be able to eventually trade, I think, as he does get him. CZY will chase down ZXC, but ZXC will be okay to back his way out with the Bear. A very messy engagement in the mid lane, but it looks like it probably favored MAG.Yolo.
That it does. They managed to make it work once again, finding that good position for a big black hole coming out from Candy Loon. Sets up for everything with a follow-up there on our techies. Just a little bit unfortunate that Heteroteism takes his time to come into that fight. Doesn't quite have the blink yet. So the approach for the Slaughter is a lot slower. He was farming on top as well, and the TP response was quicker. Although Yamo is not the easiest one to lock in, but they've got swap.
What they do. Yamo is still trying to back his way out of this one. Has RP now available if he wants to try and commit it, and does, but it's only caught one. And with that, it was really only the Spirit Bear anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. So the techies now being chased down as well. I think Blessing has really been the saving grace for his team. The mid-co-op doing just so much work, so much heavy lifting for this Dire team. And well, now suddenly they are the ones looking to come out on top.
That they are. Should be able to siege fast with that Lone Druid. Still looking for more Blessing, but not going to be, or might be able to actually commit here.
Oh, Vanessa blinks the wrong way. Let's kind of miss out. Sees Vanessa instead, but they don't have swap, so they won't be able to swap him back. Mid-tier 1 tower, though, will go down. That'll be about it. For the Dire end of things, I mean, you're sitting pretty good right now.
That you are. You've got that build-up you'd want. You're not too far behind in terms of your core's net worth. You've managed to really slow down Yamo, who is about 400, 300 gold behind the next core, although
they are going to find the edge. Blessing's going to be around to help his supports out, though there is a lot of heroes, but a nice Sonic Wave lands on 2. That'll take down CZY. They do lose the Ench and they will lose their Venge, but Blessing is not done. He wants another, and he's going to find the techies. Now even Vanessa, oh, he's popped the Battle Trance early again, trying to chase down this Slaughter. The Battle Trance, it won't really work out. Meanwhile, Blessing still being chased here by Cantloon and Yamo. Is taking a lot of damage, but does manage to blink out and retreat. Here comes ZXC from the side, trying to go after Vanessa. Keep in mind, there's no Battle Trance up right now. Vanessa just needs to run the old-fashioned way. They'll silence him up. Vanessa, he needs the black hole, but Cantloon can't get it. He can't get it in time. They'll get the Spirit Bear, but it's respawned anyway. They won't even get the gold for it. He respawns in midair.
That is just sick micro coming out from ZXC. That roar to break up the potential black hole cast instantly, cutting off any re-entry here for the side of MAG.Yolo. And again, this aggressive movement out from Vinessi. Oh,
Now, farming mid lane like that after a team fight right in the Radiant jungle, not going to pan out for the techies. CZY toss back onto the slider at the least, but that's about all they're going to get as the mid-tier 2 tower now being pressured. ZXC with the Spirit Bear can get a lot of work done very quickly, and of course with the Ench on top, it is not going to take too long.
no, it's a really quick process here for that lone druid, and there is play on MAG.Yolo, but they need some initiation tools. Just running up for the black hole, it's not going to be easy, and maybe even that protection from BKB necessary now. Have to wait a little bit for Candyloon to have that up and running. Map space being lost here for MAG.Yolo, and the goal of All Life is dead. Starting to really flex their muscles. They've got a really good Orchid timing lined up on ZXC's Bear. So they've got this single target control worked out for them. They've been really disciplined with their spacing, and that the RP and the black holes have not felt great outside of that one engagement on mid. And again, the pushing pace is just outstanding. It's just so much damage coming in from ZXC at this point in the game. 2 tier 2s fall just like that, and no counteraction from MAG.Yolo, just trying to build up. This is the one shortcoming of this lineup. It does have a lot of wombo combo, it has a lot of scaling, but it does need a little bit more farm in comparison. And the goal of All Life is dead on the hunt. They do have some forward vision open, but only spot CZY, not the biggest target. See if they find that position here to get pickoffs, but the mines are going to cause some issues.
Find themselves the techies, but they don't want that. They want the big target, and that's going to be the Magnus. Yamo, he'll go for the skewer back play, actually gets him in the low ground as well. So Yamo has a chance to blink away. More heroes coming in from the dire end of things, but it does not seem as though they can really keep up. However, Blessing, he does still secure the techies kill. In fact, they're still going. They're not done yet. They still want the Magnus. The chase will continue from the Slaughter, but eventually he must give up. However, CZY did get spotted for a second, but he will blink away. He's fine.
Hit and run for the side of the goal of All Life is dead is... It's not the most amazing result, just finding the techies again in the mines, kind of breaking up that movement onto anywhere else. So they just kind of have to take what they can get. The stall for the side of MAG.Yolo, it's not too bad. I mean, sure, they're still 1K behind, but it's not really increasing for the goal of All Life is dead as well, despite the increase in map space. So you are keeping up.
Yamo. Oh, they do see him. He blinks away. Yamo trying for the TP play out, and he's going to be alright. Nice thinking from the Mag. Meanwhile, mid lane, ZXC, he's fighting the team by himself. Blessing's going to join in. There's 5 versus 2 right now in the mid lane, and the 2's winning. So Yamo, that's a great RP. That is a great RP. He's found 2 targets. And both ZXC and Blessing, they will go down. I mean... You know, it's wishful thinking. 2v5, though they do fight Candyloon. So it's an even engagement so far between these two teams, believe it or not.
I suppose so. You don't really mind losing techies. Mo doesn't manage to find the skewer back.
CZY in danger again. Just so much damage from the Slider. A 3-man stun out as well. CZY does just melt. Vinessi is still trying to fight this one out, but his Enchantress is the problem. It's just so much impetus damage coming out onto Vinessi. He just needs to get the hell out of there. One more hit will do it. But he does manage to run. Meanwhile, Yamo, he does find the Slider. So a bit of a throwy situation going on here from the dire end of things. Just unnecessary fights happening in the mid lane. But it still is... I mean, I can't say the Radiant outright won. Is it MAG.Yolo? I mean, they kind of get gifted that amount of gold.
Yeah, they get given back a little bit something. But, again, the lead here for the goal of All Life is Dead is not that big. It was, what, max 2k lead up. Doesn't make that much of a difference when you're up against such a heavy farming lineup such as MAG.Yolo, who are now starting to pull ahead. All the cores of MAG.Yolo now on top. And it's just a matter of finding those angles, right? Like, it's the threat of Black Hole, it's the threat of RP, it's the side of the goal of All Life is Dead getting complacent in just their positioning and how they're taking these fights. Need to be able to find more. They will try for Roshan. With those team fight spells down, this is a very open Rosh for the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. It's not going to take too long with the output they do have. Although, it would be a lot faster if they had that bear, but a few more seconds for that from ZXE. Still, this can open up high ground, especially while these big spells are in cooldown. They are coming off rather soon, so you might want to look for the pick off first on the goal of All Life is Dead. Or you could just clear out top lane. That tier 1 still standing is keeping an avenue for MAG.Yolo to farm here.
Through the bottom lane they'll go now, the Aegis on Blessing. As long as they stick as 5, it's kind of hard to see them losing the team fights here. For the dire end of things, that is. Even with all the big spells that you do have on MAG.Yolo, it really doesn't make a difference if you can't land them. With smoke not really amounting to too much, they do have to rotate into the mid lane to try and address the creep wave being forced in. CZY is going to show himself though, blinks away, but the chase is now on. They just need some vision for the swap, and they are going to get it. CZY will not be surviving. Mind you, there is still a top wave to be also pushed out again, so it's not like you're going to really find any objectives out of this. They'll just have to push out the lanes and be a little bit more patient here.
Yeah, again, top still has a tier 1 standing, a really easy target to go for on the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. So they could just opt to jump that first before committing heavier anywhere else, and they will. Blessing slowly making his way forward. Are some cuts from Yamo. Not sure if the courier spotted them, probably not. Is dodging out all of that movement here.
Found themselves a techies. That's easy pick off. To the top tier 1 they go, they'll take that one down. Tier 2 tower shouldn't be too hard either with the Spirit Bear. Take care of that one rather quickly as well. The tier 2 tower gone. Yeah. Tier 3 tower, in fact. Why the hell not? It's going for the full value.
Well,
I mean, they do have the Aegis on Blessing. I don't blame them. They will retreat them.
yeah, you have to respect that RP and Black Hole on the high ground. Can't afford to go all in ham here on the side of the goal of All Life is Dead. But they have gotten a lot on the map. Now, completely naked outside their high ground here for the side of MAG.Yolo. A pickoff would lead into that high ground if they find Mag.
Oh, they've got Blessing, but a nice swap. A very nice swap will save Blessing's life. And Yamo, he is gone. No RP. Meanwhile, Candylune, he committed the BKB. He was ready to Black Hole, and now he'll commit it. He actually gets 2 of them. Wait, what? What do you mean? At least the Quap will have the Aegis, so Blessing will be alright. I suppose now, without the Black Hole all RP, you've got nothing to worry about anyway. So really, you just get avenge out of it.
Yeah, and he was free to go for that. Again, your range stun was caught out, but it doesn't matter. Like, they play into that without any of those, without that one big spell. It is a little bit scary, although RP is going to be up on the respawn here. So they play it safe. And Troll is a pretty big, hard to manage target right now without like a range stun, which is again your Venge. So Vanessa is going to be able to just stave him off just by his presence. The goal of All Life is Dead, though. I mean, without the Aegis, might be a little bit riskier now to think about that high ground. And are just going to go back to farm. Again, you still have play potential here with Yamo still having that RP. So you still have one tool for that wide team fight. RP into just a troll hitting you is... it's going to be a lot of damage coming out with the Battle Fury and the Empower Cleave later on. That is the one concern. The scaling is pretty big on the side of MAG.Yolo, and we are hitting that point. Ag's up on Vanessa. So he's got the upgrades with the Dispel on enemies and Dispel on himself. Going to be very useful to kind of remove all these debuffs, especially from the Slardar. His talent for that is still all the way at 25. A long way off yet.
Lane. Did he make the jump in? Blessing. He'll get stunned up here by the blast off. There is more help incoming. CZY here was dropping very, very low. Blessing, though, forced to just blink away. The rest of the team is hanging around, but they don't really know if they want to come in for the fight or not. So MAG.Yolo, they'll get away with one kill, and they might just get away with another. Blessing is slowly moving back in to try and help out the Ench, but ultimately will decide not. They'll leave them be. Now CZY fighting another in the Slardar, which is trying to push out the mid wave. But now they're going to find another one.
Huh. You know what this feels like, Mike? Kind of feels like a pub.
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit less coordinated. It's a little bit more finding these openings, playing a little bit greedier and less as a unit on the side of the goal of all life is death. When they do play as a unit, it looks pretty good, but then they default to just splitting apart. So it is costing them. 2k lead comes back here from MAG.Yolo. Not quite the safest opportunity to just go for a tier 2 pushes, but if they find more pickoffs, that does open up quite fast, especially if Vinessi does decide to commit.
Candylune.
Take it cautiously.
Ooh, Candylune. What are we doing here? They've got Blessing, do they? He's got a black hole, and he'll commit it. Oh, there's just so many weird things happening in this game. But Blessing now going to go down, trying to take Candylune's life away.
Yeah, that does cost them the black hole and the BKB, but again, you still have the RP to play with, and you have a troll that benefits from the RP a little bit better, so you don't mind too much on the side of MAG.Yolo. The MAG.Yolo have not been able to fully commit onto that top push, so the outer towers here for the goal of all life is dead is still pretty open, and that is the one point that they have above MAG.Yolo. Just haven't been able to translate these kills into objectives just yet. Again, with this item build-up in Vinessi, it does feel like the time is now, unless they still want to wait for the Satanic, which, it's not going to take that much longer, granted, but you do want to shrink this down, really choke out that Lone Druid and the Quap from trying to build up here.
What they got now? It's going to be the Ench once again. She's going to be okay to just force staff out of there. Blessing going to jump right in onto Vinessi. Vinessi happy to fight, apparently, though he is looking to retreat now as he does get stunned up. Silenced up to boot. He does still hold a BKB, though, to try and use when he is ready to do so. CZY going to jump in after the Spirit Bear. Vinessi dropping low, does go for the BKB battle trance, but needs to get out of there, I think. But he does get the Ench. In fact, it's the side of the Dire that need to get out. They do just not get in the fight they want.
A little bit messy. They need to be able to isolate these heroes. Bear starts to drop really fast as well in the middle of these engagements. They're not able to get these big crushes that you'd want on Heterotheism. They will try again, but again the mines causing issues for these smoke gangs. Should be read by MAG.Yolo.
They do move in. To the Yamo Mag they go. Yamo, he does have the RP available, though he kind of whiffs everything so far. Moving on to the slider, Vinessi. RP committed from Yamo, just holding him down for Vinessi to get right to work, and Blessing, all he can do is really just watch. There's MAG.Yolo, I mean, they are just continuing to come back in this game, number one. ZXC gonna lose his Spirit Bear while they're at it. MAG.Yolo now 9k ahead, look like the much stronger team. Might just run through the bottom lane to the tier 2 tower. But why the hell not?
Yeah, nothing holding them back. BKB coming off cooldown in a few seconds for Vinessi. Venge.
She's gonna go down as well. Blessing will go for the swap out. Yamo. In fact, never mind. She does make her way out, but Blessing now in trouble. Blessing gonna be able to blink away. As we are gonna have a pause coming out from CZY.
This is such a weird game.
It sure is.
It's going all over the place. The goal of all life is that just dropping the ball, not respecting just that team fight potential coming out from MAG.Yolo. Running forward a little bit too much. You've got that protection now lined up here for Candylune, BKB plus Lincolns, so now the swap won't be enough to save you here. On the side of the goal of all life is death, you will just kind of have to cop it when the black hole does come true. So reliable team fight lining up. That timing for MAG.Yolo into the later part of the game has appeared. This is the point where that Troll, that Magnus, that Enigma just dictate this game. Heck, even just the presence of her Tiny is starting to be quite a worrisome issue for the goal of all life is death. It doesn't feel like you're getting enough items flowing here to really counteract that. Like, the Ags is up on our Slardar, which is pretty nice, but at the same time, he is just melting up front. A BKB doesn't necessarily save him either, although that magic immunity or the magic resist is pretty useful to prevent some of that burst damage. But he's not able to tank for his team. ZXC, his bear's always in the firing line, constantly targeted up with these tosses, and just not able to do as much when it's controlled up like that. And again, MAG.Yolo, as this game pulls into a later and later timer, it gets better and better from MAG.Yolo, just because you have no answers for that RP, you have no answers for the black hole, and you have no way of stopping this troll from going crazy unless you get like a whole bunch of Yules for yourself, which, to be fair, they've kind of lined up for. They already have like 2 Yules up and running, at the very least.
I mean, it all goes back to that weird fight where 2 heroes were in the mid lane and they just die against 5. I feel like that's where everything just went wrong for this Dire team, and it just hasn't recovered ever since then. It's been a bit of a messy affair. MAG.Yolo very happy now with the state of the game. Still a 9k advantage. They have 1.5 minutes left till the next Roshan does respawn to boot, so they should have that next Roshan in their pockets. I mean, the Dire, they're not out of the game yet by any stretch of the imagination, but a pretty awkward kind of scenario now as ZXC is just unable to keep the bear alive in any of these fights. The Slider just cannot tank through the fights either. They're going to group up though, 4-man smoke. Because they know the Roshan will respawn soon. Head down towards that Roshan area through the bottom lane. Candyloon, oh, he's going to get caught out immediately. I mean, I guess he was just kind of watching for his team, but probably not worth his life. He's down for a minute without buyback.
It's a big opener here for the goal of All Life is Death. Roshan spawning in 30 seconds as well. The perfect time for them to start to regain some control in this game. The Mines does let the side of MAG.Yolo know, so they might be able to mount a counter action, still having the RP ready on YMO, and has the gate access as well. The goal of All Life is Death. They need a little bit more on the pickups here.
Well, they're going to find themselves a techies. They even found themselves a troll warlord, Vanessa. He's going to move back in, but they've already lost their support. CZY moving in as well, trying to go after the Slider, but Vanessa, he's going back in onto the bench now. The battle trance is about to end, however. Still, it's a bit of a messy fight here for the Radiant. Yamo trying to jump in. ZXC, he's going to lose his Spirit Bear, but he can respawn at any moment. Meanwhile, Yamo trying to find an RP, does get one onto Blessing. The Quap has been caught, but Blessing gets the blink away.
Ooh.
Vanessa could not finish off the job, and now ZXC will move back in with the bear, but no, the skewer puts him on the cliff. It won't matter though, Vanessa's already down. Yamo trying to get away, but the Yule Scepter will cancel the TP. Yamo just kind of trapped, forced the fight. Here comes Candyloon though with the black hole out. Does find himself a Slider, but now he's in danger. He just respawned, and he's going right back to the grave. And believe it or not, there's no buybacks on the Radiant side. MAG.Yolo have nothing.
No buybacks, no contestation for the Roshan. That can come out now for the side of the goal of All Life is Death. It looks like they should be setting up for that Rosh. There is some vision here, at least in the Lotus pool for the side of MAG.Yolo, but that's not the important part of the map that you'll need to play around. Aegis set to go the way of the goal of All Life is Death, and that should open up a siege onto high ground. What a back and forth game. It's going to be really messy. It's so messy for both sides, but this is the opener.
This is it. Aegis and the Roshan banner are going to be available now for the Dire end of things. We'll put the banner. Oh, it actually just holds on to the banner here on the Lone Druid, so not going to put it anywhere yet. So you'd rather just put it somewhere once you're actually ready to start pressuring high ground, which is not quite the case yet. As MAG.Yolo could definitely look to fight back pretty easily here. They still have a 4k advantage their way, and it still seems as though their draft is favored going into the late game. With the Star end of it, just back to the farm game for themselves. Not feeling too confident in trying for a high ground attempt yet. It's going to give time for the Silver Edge to be finished up on Yamo. It seems like we're at the stage of the game where neither side really knows what they need to do yet. It's kind of like just hoping for the enemy to make a mistake.
It's almost like a pub. That's exactly what happens in some pubs when the game's rather even. You default to farming for a little bit, It is trickier for the goal of All Life is Dead, as you mentioned, just because the late game scaling for MAG.Yolo is a lot better. Although,
Jump in from Yamo, but he's kind of maybe fed his life away. Forced the BKB and Silver Edge to run. They've got a sentry ward to be placed down. Yamo pops the RP, trying to ask for some help from his team. He'll skewer back the Venge. Magic Missile will land though, the mag's still low, but is going to be able to make it out. Actually does get out of there. Just barely on about 100 HP, Yamo. Sure, he commits the RP, but he'll get a Venge for his trouble, and it's going to ensure that they just remain in the game.
yeah, still have room to play. At the very least, the Venge illusion still does stay alive as well, so you've still got the swap for safety. You've got the magic missile spam to kind of help you here as well. Octarine coming online now for our Quap. Going to be a lot more active, more uptime for the spells to be spammed out, and just maybe easier to engage, disengage. Feels pretty nice with Parasma spam as well, though.
Blessing? Blessing's going in alone now. I mean, he does have the Aegis, but this is completely on his own. He will survive. He does still hold on to that Aegis, as they do actually find CZY. The team fight so far working out, but here comes Vanessa. He'll find the Venge one time. Now the Black Hole. It's caught both the Venge and the Spirit Bear. It's not the greatest Black Hole you've ever seen, but it is something, as they do get the techies down. Another very messy team fight. Now the Enigma to be lost. Candaloon is gone. Yamo still trying to desperately fight, but he's got no RP to play with. A Sonic Wave completely whiffed for Vanessa. Vanessa's in the middle of nowhere. He'll pop the Battle Trance onto the Lone Druid, trying to go through the main bear.
Ooh.
And it looks like he's going to find him. Vanessa now onto Blessing, but he'll TP or rather blink away. Vanessa's still looking for another target. Yamo, he'll take down the Yench. Who's actually winning the fight? God only knows. As they jump in again, Yamo will go down thanks to the slide up, and now the turnaround is back for Vanessa. Now the Spirit Bear comes back in. CZY tossing up Blessing. Blessing will blink away. Still Vanessa back onto the Spirit Bear, trying desperately, but in comes the slider with the steel chair. Vanessa's gone. Vanessa is down. What is this game?
Oh my god.
What is this game?
I have no clue. There's some real high-end stuff happening there to buy back on the Venge, just to come back in the middle, taking the place of the Illusion, to have another Illusion up right before it dies. Does a lot of work. So basically you had, what, 4 Venge lives running in that fight. 5 if you want to include the previous that he had. And a massive win, somehow going the way of the goal of All Life is Death. It's just way too fragmented from the side of MAG.Yolo. Right, like they're popping RP a little bit early, they're popping the Black Hole onto 1, maybe 2 if you really want to count it as such. Not in big targets they'd want to pin down and just whack away at. So it provides openings for the goal of All Life is Death. And you know, they make use of those openings really well. Bot set a rack set to go. Mid opened up earlier on. That's a big advantage now for the Dire side. And MAG.Yolo, I mean, they find some flashy fights, and then they find some awkward fights. And it's also the same story for the goal of All Life is Death. Sometimes they look amazing, other times Blessing comes in by himself, and they still make it work. I
mean, he did set up that fight. That was Blessing's fight that he set up. I don't know if he meant to set up a 5v5, but he did, and it worked, so, you know. Give him credit where credit's due, I suppose. Don't try this at home, though, kids. It's not very well advised, as we are having some lag call-outs here, but nobody's pausing the game. Which is the way I like it, Jonathan. Who cares? We're both lagging. Play the game.
Yeah, it's not a good connection for me. Fortunately, our observer's connection is great. Good on you, good Scriff. You are looking fine.
How do the Europeans get a good connection every time?
I have no clue.
I don't understand.
Mean, it's always so funny to me that the Southeast Asian connection to China is just so weird. Then again, when people do play on like other servers, the question mark. I've never seen that. 2 players say lag, and then the admin question marks. I've never seen that.
That's where Emo's gone, John. Emo's adminning now. That's what he's doing.
Oh,
there we go.
This is some stuff. This game just keeps giving, man. Just keeps giving.
Oh my!
I mean,
what is this, man? It's too much. I mean, it's midnight right now, and we're just watching these 2 teams play a pub game, basically. It's
It does feel that way. We will get back into the game. It's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Connection stabilizes. They've got the Octarine up for Candyloon, so a little bit more uptime on the Black Hole. A little bit better uptime as well for the Malefice and the Eidolon spam. Gonna be pretty nice for that Enigma. 8k advantage for the goal of all life is death. And they're gonna go for that smoke. Tempting fate. They've got to find a pick-off, and they have to remember to not be clumped up here.
Vanessa, swap out. That's a big target. Vanessa. It's okay for now. He'll get the BKB battle trance, but he is in dire straits at the moment, still doing a lot of damage towards this lone druid. But Vanessa, eventually it's going to run out. They'll stun him up. Can they deal with him? Meanwhile, in the mid lane, who have they got? ZXC, he's gone down. The Techies and Vanessa are both dropping as well. They are gone. No buyback.
What?
Black hole, Blessing. Blessing does get caught in a black hole, but he'll commit a buyback immediately. Candyloon is gone. In fact, he was denied off apparently. Who denied him in the middle of this fight? I don't know. CZY. CZY will drop. I think Candyloon literally denied himself with the Anapods.
Yeah, I think he did.
What do you mean, dude? How is that the first thing that comes to your mind? When you...
The goal of all life is death, Mike, and he fulfills that prophecy. It's a moral win for the goal of all life is death, as that is all they deliver. Somehow. Oh goodness gracious! I don't know. I'll skewer back to tie it up.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Into the fountain. Blessing's okay. Oh, and there we go. Game 1 will go the way of all. What's the name of the team, John? Go tell me the name.
The goal of all life is
the
death.
goal of all
Victory.
life is death. I don't know whether to congratulate them on game 1 or